Are you enjoying this HAXWARE series and want to help us make more? Join our mug club by visiting haxware.io/MC and pick up a collectible HAXWARE mug today. Swiss's fists begin to form a gust of wind energy around it. He charges at Jinzo and leaps into the air and connects a gusty uppercut with Jinzo's chin, followed by a violent tornado dealing great damage to Jinzo. Jinzo starts falling to the ground injured. After Swiss lands, he starts to walk over to Jinzo laying on the ground.
Cool cheap trick, Swiss!
Jinzo, now bruised and battered, swings back into action with style doing cartwheel kicks.
But your HAXWARE is mine!
Jinzo again charges at Swiss.
Jinzo?
Jinzo, in a fit of rage, continues running at Swiss.
Jinzo!
Jinzo stops in confusion, and Swiss points to his headband on the ground.
Your headband's no longer in your head, man. That means I'm the winner.
Jinzo looks down at the headband on the ground and puts on a disappointed face. Jinzo sighs and lets down his guard.
Alright, Swiss, I give in. You got me good. You somehow have incredible tactical combat abilities.
Jinzo walks over to Swiss with his arm held out extended at a 45-degree angle. They do their signature handshake, crossing forearms to make an X.
Well, you know my motto. Best way to win a fight is to know your opponent.
Yeah, but just how did you know I'd steal your finisher, though? I've never disciplined with the violent vortex around you. I made sure of it.
Studying your enemy can mean the difference between life and death. While you're not my enemy, Jinzo, we spar so much that you might as well be. When you pulled out your HAXWARE core, I noticed it wasn't its usual shape. In fact, it coincidentally looked just like my core. And that's when I knew that Jinzo the show-off was going to try to beat me with my own technique. Besides, there are eyes all over Otaged. Just the other day, Chip asked me if I was teaching it to you. I guess he caught you red-handed.
I should have known there's no such thing as privacy in Otaged.
Swiss starts to look reflective.
You know, Jinzo.
Swiss walks over to Jinzo and puts his arm around him in a big brother fashion.
Oh great, here comes another lecture.
Your desire to be great is an incredible quality for you as a warrior, but it also may be your greatest weakness. Sometimes you're more predictable than a sunset man.
Jinzo is reflective.
But I will give it to you, young man. I spent many months developing the violent vortex technique, and you picked it up in a matter of weeks. I've never met someone with determination to learn things as fast as you do.
Why do you keep calling me young? I'm only 3 years younger than you.
Jinzo removes Swiss's arm from his shoulder and walks away from him.
I'm just a little jealous is all, man. Take it as a compliment. You always seem to find a way to amaze me, Jinzo. But remember, if there's any of my boring lessons I promise to beat into your head, it's that without control.
Power is meaningless. Yeah, Plato, we get it already.
Good. You're finally starting to learn something. Also, does this mean that you admit that my HAXWARE core configuration is superior then?
Jinzo is visibly disgusted by this and uninstalls his core from his interface and begins to reconfigure it back to his original configuration.
Nah, your configuration is bonk. Blasting wind and water together is endless fun.
Jinzo finishes making his original core configuration and takes off the acoustic HAXWARE, holds it up, and looks at it.
And to think of all the money I wasted on this junk.
Jinzo tosses the acoustic HAXWARE over to Swiss.
I didn't want that trash anyway.
Finn.